You're listening to Thursday Night AMP on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
I'm of the belief that NFL fans kind of did the same thing with Tom Brady. It's like they want so badly for him to be a cheater that we had to basically conduct this witch hunt in an attempt to lead backwards to prove that he did something that nobody is entirely can prove that he actually did. And I was kind of the same way with Bill Cosby. I really was. Like I wanted to believe that this was just a bunch of people coming at him and that he was going to get past it.
I just don't know with Tom Brady, though, since you brought up that example. I know that it will never be definitively proven one way or the other, but the whole fact that the commissioner gave him a 4-game suspension was because Brady was not exactly forthcoming. I mean, he claims he was buying a new cell phone anyway, and that's why he destroyed the old one. But seriously, I have phones from 2 years ago still sitting around my house. I don't get why people destroy cell phones. That, to me, doesn't wash.
Well, he was told by his agent not to cooperate with it.
That, to me, again, is a very damning thing.
I don't see it that way, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, some people might call me an apologist. I feel like the entire thing, basically, okay, I mean, I don't know if you want to get into this because this isn't an NFL show.
No, we can get into it. Kevin's been wanting us to talk about football on this show, so let's get into it.
All right, well, here's my thought on it, okay? The NFL messed up. The NFL, first of all, if I sign up for a friggin' rec league to play football, what's the first thing they do? They supply me with a football to play the game. They're not relying on me to bring a football, and we can't have a game if I don't bring one. So why the hell does the NFL not supply a standard-issued game ball? That's the first thing. The second thing is these officials supposedly checked it. They supposedly checked these balls, and yes, maybe they were deflated. But who's the last person to touch the ball before it goes onto the field of play? The official. The official's the last person to touch it before it goes into the field of play. So the official didn't feel that it was underinflated enough for it to be flagged and not used, but the defender that caught the ball, intercepted it, knew right away, and the official didn't catch that. To me, the NFL doesn't want egg. To me, the NFL doesn't want egg on its face. The NFL knows that it messed up. The NFL knows that it should have caught this, and because it didn't, they want so badly to have some sort of a person of prominence that they can blame. And the only person you can go to is Tom Brady. That's my opinion.
Well, let's take it from one Brady to you, Brady. If you want to exonerate Tom Brady, I understand where you're coming from, but you're saying the official should have recognized the ball was underinflated when he held it before he took it out and put it on the field of play. Yes. Whereas I don't feel like an official spends as much time in contact with a football as a football player does. A football player who handles a football all the time is going to notice even minute differences that an official who doesn't play the game would not.
I don't buy that. They're supposed to more than hand check them. The officials are all over the ball. Supposedly, that's what the NFL said.
So what are they supposed to do? Like squeeze the Charmin? Are they supposed to squeeze every ball to feel if it's underinflated or not?
Well, I think they're supposed to check the quality of the ball. The defender knew it wasn't right.
So why are we not relying on the expert testimony of the football player who said he knew something was wrong? Why do we not trust?
We are. We're relying on the expert testimony of the official to suspend somebody that we don't know that they did anything.
I just find it entirely convenient that Brady says he had no knowledge of it and destroyed his phone, so we can't check to see that.
But we have the phones of the other people that he communicated with, so they know what Tom Brady said. What, do they think he's writing like another person?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? To me, the NFL messed up. So what they did was they had to create this report that showed that someone else was responsible to take the focus off of the fact that they messed up, that they didn't check the game balls properly, probably before the game. So they created this entire report to prove that Tom Brady was wrong. Then they used that report that they created as evidence that Tom Brady was wrong. To me, you can't suspend someone for something that you don't know that they did.
Who does underinflating the ball benefit? It doesn't benefit the other people on the team other than the receivers and the quarterback. Those are the only two people who this alleged malfeasance is going to achieve any benefit for.
Oh, okay, but there weren't that many balls deflated. The original report was 11. It turned out to be more like 2 or 3. There could have been, at least 2 of those 3 could have been attributed to the weather. So I don't understand what the big deal is.
I don't understand. I'm going to argue this right back because I don't understand the big deal about not just taking the punishment like a man, sitting out 4 games and coming back and making your point by winning 12 games. Why did he have to appeal the suspension? Why can't he just say, I'll take the rap whether I did something or not, and then I'll come back and I'll show you all how good I really am?
See, because by accepting the punishment, that's admitting that you did something, and he's not willing to do that. He was willing to take it to the Supreme Court.
It may still go to the Supreme Court. This can be appealed. The judge's decision can be appealed.
Well, I think the NFL will be wise to just let it go.
I think the NFL will try to get a stay of the judge's order, and I think the NFL will fight for this because if they allow this to stand, they're basically allowing every player in the NFL Players Association to flout their authority and say, we don't ever have to accept a suspension for anything ever.
Well, maybe the answer is to have an impartial arbiter next time instead of our commissioner.
That was one of the judge's 3 options. He could have either reversed the suspension, affirmed the suspension, or sent it to an arbiter. The judge had all 3 of those choices.
Well, sure, but the arbiter should have been sent in rather than the commissioner making the decision in the first place. Of course he's going to side with his friend that wrote the report that's favorable to the NFL. That's what side he's on. You can't, in my opinion, you can't suspend somebody for something that you don't know that they did. Jimmy Snuka's not in jail right now. I mean, you know what? That's a bad example because, I mean, if he didn't post bail, then he would be in jail right now. But
that's what I was just about to say.
Okay, but Tom Brady, we're not talking about he's on bail. I mean, we're talking about you can't punish someone for something that you have no evidence that they did, and they have no evidence that he did this. And that was even what the judge said. And that was why he reversed the decision because they went about this entire thing the wrong way.
Here's what I'm going to say about the whole thing in a nutshell so that we can move on and get to the PWI Top 500.
Okay.
There is a website out there, and I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but it's not hard to find if you Google it. And basically just type in the phrase, how much does your team cheat? Because it's an NFL website that keeps track of every single NFL team. And if you look at all of them across the board, not a single one has ever not cheated. Some have cheated less, some have cheated more, but every single one of them has a percentage of time that they've cheated.
I've started to bring up that Aaron Rodgers actually prefers his balls overinflated. For some reason, that's okay.
Who knows whether it's okay to underinflate or overinflate if that helps a quarterback's performance. But we do know that NFL teams have read each other's signals. We do know that NFL players have abused performance-enhancing drugs. We do know that it's like Eddie Guerrero, the late great Eddie Guerrero said, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. And all of these NFL teams are trying.
Absolutely.